This is part B of this Sammy Seashore Supplies assignment that we have. We previously created um, a bunch of methods, okay? A class with a bunch of methods in it. And now we're going to create a new class, okay? It's going to be called a container class because it's going to contain all the variables that we're going to have in our other class. And of course, we have these three public static fields. We'll talk about those. Four private fields, two set methods, and four get methods. And we'll talk about those as we do it. Um, I got myself a bunch of stuff here that I'm going to copy. You guys can fill this all in just a minute. Switch over to Eclipse. I got to create myself in week 5. I got to create a new class called rental with a capital R, R-E-N-T-A-L, just like that. Finish. Okay, and you guys are going to have to take and type this in. Sorry about that. But yeah, you can pause it for a minute, type it all in. I'm going to talk about it. We first of all start out with some public final static variables. Public means that they're usable on the outside. Final means that they cannot change. Static means that for each object that we create of rental, they're all going to be the same. And of course, integers. Then we have private variables. Private variables are those things that are internal within our class that we don't want anybody to touch. Notice it doesn't have static. Static means that each object can have different contract numbers, hours, and things like that. That'll all make sense in time. And then we've got a bunch of sets. Okay, we're going to set contract, num, hours, and minutes. And we got other things we're going to do here. Okay, let's get started. These are all completed for us. Okay, as I pasted them in, they're all fine. But now these set methods, I've got to do something with those. Okay, I created like these prototypes that we can now put the code in there. What set does is actually sets one of these variables. Okay, to set those, we have to receive something. This one's the contact num, okay? And I'm going to say, okay, I want to receive a string, because that's what it is, and we're going to call it contact num, just like above, just like that. And I'm going to use the keyword this. This means this class. And notice how it brings up all of the variable type things of this class. It's really nice because you make fewer mistakes by using this. In this case, the contract num is equal to contract num, like that, semicolon. Now what I'm doing is I'm saying, okay, this, which is basically the variable of the class, this one up here, is equal to the local one, this one right here. So now I'm assigning a variable, local private variable. The next one here is a little more complicated. I'm going to be taking in minutes. Int minutes, like that. And I'm going to be setting a bunch of things, doing some calculations in here. Okay, I receive my minutes. I'm going to set my hours. And of course, my hours is equal to this dot hours, right there, like that, is equal to minutes, the local variable, divided by, and then this minutes in an hour, this const up here, okay? This final right there, semicolon. So now we take and we figure out how much, how many full hours are in there. Being we're taking a integer, dividing it by integer, we're going to end up with just whole hours in here. You aren't going to see like a percent anymore. Now let's do the minutes. Dot remaining minutes right there. That's equal to, what is it? Minutes modulus this minutes in an hour up here. Semicolon. So now we set the remaining in minutes. Now let's do the total cost, to total price right here. This dot total price. Okay, is equal to, what is that? That's the hours times, let's see, hourly rate right up there, and then plus, and then let's see the remaining minutes times the minutely rate right there. Okay, semicolon. Just to make sure this is right, I want to make sure that I take and I force this multiplication to happen first. Okay, and then they'll add the totals of those together like that. Okay. So now what we've done is we've set all of these. Okay, we set all of these, all three of those, using this one set method. We can get rid of this now. Don't need that anymore. It was my own little right there. Okay. And now we've got all of our sets done. Gets, okay, allow us access into private variables. What it's going to do, it's going to return something, okay? In this case, it's going to return the contract number. And this, once again, using this because you won't make mistakes then, contract num right there, semicolon. Of course, now we're getting an error because we have to return, in this case, it's a string, isn't it? Like that. That's all good and happy. This one here, we're going to return, what is it, hours, isn't it? This dot hours, semicolon, and hours is an int, like that. And this one's going to return this dot remaining minutes right there, semicolon, which is once again an integer like that. And this one's going to return this dot total price like that, semicolon, which once again is an integer. Once again, these we have private variables, we have public variables that are going to be available on the outside, we'll see in time. And then we create these gets and sets that basically give us read-write capabilities for these private variables.